Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Pat, here from Laid Back Languages. I specialise in helping adults learn their very first foreign language stress-free. That sounds good. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Now my friends, in today's video I want to talk about accents. How important is it to have a good accent? I've had this question asked me a lot over the past few years as I've been coaching people and teaching them how to learn foreign languages. How important is it that I sound like a native? How important is it that I have a good accent? And these are actually two very different questions that I get, and they kind of get merged into one. Is having a good accent important? So let's dive into this. First things first, accents vary. Even in your native language, there are very varying amounts of different accents. In my native language, English, well, even in the United Kingdom, I think there are officially about 27 accents. Don't fact check me on that, or you can fact check me on that, let me know in the comments. I think there's about 27 different accents in the UK alone. That's a lot of different accents and different variations of how you can speak the English language. So bear that in mind. Accents vary. Everyone actually has their own accent, because the way I speak, even though I was raised in the exact same environment as my sister, we speak English with different accents. We've got slightly different intonations of how we talk. Obviously, so I've learned foreign languages. That's influenced my English a lot, and I've lived abroad, and she's pretty much stayed here in the southwest of England. But my point is, everyone's got a different way of speaking a language. So bear this in mind. How important is it then for you to speak like a native? Have a native sounding accent, whatever that really means. It's important to be understood. That is the only important thing. When you speak a foreign language, you want to communicate your message. You want to be understood by the other person. Your only true goal with language learning at the start should be two things. Number one, be understood. And number two, understand. And actually, I would switch those around and say, understand, make that your primary goal, and be understood, your secondary goal. Okay, so with that said, accents. You want to make sure the other person you're speaking to can understand you. If your accent is so strong they can't understand what you're saying, yes, that's a problem. Okay, let's not sugarcoat it. If you're saying a word and they don't know what you're saying, that's an issue, because there's a block in the communication, right? However, I do not get this obsession with people wanting to sound like a native. You are never going to be a native speaker of the language you're trying to learn if you're learning it as an adult. Oh, it's very unlikely, unless you go and live there for years and years and years and years and years and somehow forget most of your native language, or you're extremely talented and you have a gift for picking up accents or whatnot. But for the majority of people, for the majority of adults, you're never going to sound like a native person. And that is okay, my friends. That is more than okay. There's actually a real charm to having a foreign accent, as I'm sure you know. If you speak to people in your native language and they've got a bit of a foreign accent, it's kind of attractive, right? It's kind of nice. You at least think, this person, they're not from here, but they're speaking my language, and as long as you can understand what they're saying, that is absolutely fine. And actually, it's great, because as I said before, everyone has their own accent. So how important is it then to speak like a native? It's not important. But, and I say but, because I personally like to strive towards speaking like a native, or at least as close as I can. So a tip with this, if you want to sound more native in your target language, is pick an accent, because there are lots of different accents available. Let's take Spanish, for example. If you want to learn Spanish and you want to speak Spanish fluently and sound like a native, choose a dialect. You don't have to do this right at the start, but I'd recommend you, maybe towards the intermediate level, you start to think about, what do I want to sound like? Do I want to speak like someone from Spain? Or do I want to speak like someone from South America? And again, there are different accents in Spain, there are different accents obviously in South America as well. But hone in on an accent, and that will help you sound more native. But please remember, you will probably never pass for a native, and that is completely fine. It doesn't matter. Be proud that you're a foreign person learning a foreign language. You don't need to convert nationalities and just become completely a different nationality and whatnot. That's not important. What's important is communicating. Understand, be understood. Always focus on this, and you'll learn a foreign language with ease, and you'll have fun whilst doing it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you in another video. Ciao.